We had people come up to talk to Marty and Duquesne that had purchased other popular promoted genetic panels on social media that cost $200 to $300 more than what this panel costs you. Those panels provide, I think, a maximum of 4 genetic codes, MTHFR being the primary one that is promoted. And what you get back as a report is a flyer to buy that company's B vitamins. And Marty had a gentleman that came back 3 separate times and was like reading through the book that you get that's about 2 inches thick of your data on yourself. And he was verbally upset and came back the 3rd time. And Marty asked him, "Hey, what's wrong?" He's like, "I bought this other test from the guy I see on social media and I wasted $799. He said, now he's like, "Screw it. I need 2 of these, one for me, one for my wife." And, this is not something that you're going to find anywhere else. And as has been discussed, if you know practitioners or if you know health coaches that want to become the best possible at taking care of clients and being at the forefront of their space to be a true professional, not only can you get this at a price that is not available anywhere else with a level of detail that you can't get anywhere else, this is also commissionable. We're actually $300 to $500 less than what you would get anywhere else in the market, and you can be compensated for sharing or selling said service. And do you know why we're doing this? Why there's such an important focus on this? It's because of what you're seeing on the screen right now. Not only are you going to get all of this data on yourself, or you're going to be able to provide a tool that every person you know is going to be able to get to know themselves for the first time. There are specific recommendations based on specific profiles and testing done in this test to recommend which products coincide with which readings. So that almost sounds like the one tool that you should have every single person you know do. And if I was a parent of a young child, I would have a newborn. If I had a newborn right now, I would swab my newborn because I would know how to feed, treat, train my baby from day one for the rest of their lives. Holy shnikes. Do you know how valuable that is?
And Dylan, I stopped on this page because this is a pretty important page even from like a training or losing weight or trying to work out, or from a training standpoint, from a physical trainer. Like, how beneficial is this page?
So 2 things actually. One, Clay, that $799 test for the unnamed company that has the genetic tests,
Yep.
that's the base level for theirs. $12.99 is what they offer to say you need more B vitamins. So their base test is $7.99, and $12.99 is when they actually say, "Hey, here's some other supplements you can use." So yeah, I just want to correct that.
I misspoke. Do you know how much it costs to have the extra guidance, is to understand what you need to do to solve all of these problems? Doing it our way? Oh, that would be nothing.
And then Patrick, to talk about this as a training standpoint, for anyone not understanding this, proteins, fats, and carbs are your main diet proportions. Usually you want to do between 40 to 60 and 20 and 20 on between protein, fats, and carbs. I mean, that's what you want to take in for your kilocalories. Kilocalories are the breakdowns of what calories are. So if you're saying 25 to 30%, this is basically a $200 a month nutritional program that you're getting. Because you could go
how
to
much? How much are they getting that for?
Once you get test $4.99 is free.
One time? Hold on, one time?
And then here's the big one, that this is the only one that, and Duquesne, I'll let you go because I'm sure you have some stuff, but this is the 2 parts of our test that nobody else is testing on or giving you results about. And I know that Clay was really big on this, but the CBD and the cannabis aspect.
Can of what?
Cannabis.
And just so everybody understands with this, if you've worked in the medical space before and you've worked in the lab space, which Christina and I both have, her knowledge and experience is a little bit more extensive than mine. If you go to, I think it's cheap labs or whatnot, there's a company that has a little shop in different parts of the country that you can go in and get lower price blood work and urine samples. And what you'll pay for a small piece of what this panel does, going to one of the least expensive places in the country to have labs done, is around $1,200 to $1,500. So what you have to take into account in this is we have to pay to have these tests done. Right? They're not inexpensive. So we have something that is anywhere from $300 to $1,000 less than everything else. And we're putting 25% of that cost into your pockets for sharing it. Because the goal in this is not to make money off of selling a test. It's about giving people the data that allows them to be knowledgeable about the things they should do for themselves, and then begin to understand that the same company that provides them that value, that is created by a nanobiotechnologist, might just have all the solutions for them as well. And those solutions are recommended in the same report that they get. And the most beautiful part of this, when you get your report back and you're on your report that is live and interactive on the line, and you click on a product, it takes you right into your root account.
Say what?
That is kind of intelligent design, and that's what we call, hold on, teamwork. I'm just saying, this whole crew here does really dope stuff.
Because of Patrick's efforts, it is not just in English. If you're in Germany, you will have a German test, and your results are being translated to multi-languages too. So something else our test has that no one else has for their tests is we are multilingual. I want to point that one out.
Putting together this panel in the way that we did it took almost 2 years. And because if you look at what Christina is, who she is, how she functions, she doesn't compromise in quality. And we don't screw around when we do something, because and literally, this is a hard part for people to comprehend, but it's a fact. Everything that we do is best in class. And if you question that, why don't you just look at our coffee? It's got a 91 cup score that makes it the top 1% of all coffees on the planet. That's a fact. We don't screw around with what we do. So how is this different from everybody else? I don't know. Take the Pepsi challenge. Why don't you just get a copy of a report, go through it, and ask anybody else what they have, what it costs, what you can get. Nothing compares to this. 2, what do we do with your data and your DNA once it's tested? We don't sell it, we don't market it, and our lab doesn't distribute it. So we are very cognizant of the value of our community.
Nobody even knows your name, just so that everyone, like, everything's de-identified, and you can also execute an erasing of all of your data after you get your test results. So if you wish, you can just send an email and everything will be erased. But there is
they destroy your DNA as well. So they actually destroy the samples. On top of them, like you said, Patrick, they'll delete all your information.
Clayton, can you share that test with that code on it? So that is the only thing that identifies the test. So nothing has your name on it. There's no information. There's nothing, but that code is assigned to you. And then I believe they use AWS. It's in the document. I shared it in the chat. I think they have a security system, which cloud software managed by AWS. And then they have like a 3-step security process. They've never been breached. They've never had any problems. This is pretty laid out in what makes ours different from a security standpoint. We are not 23andMe. We are not selling data to insurance companies to get money on the back end.
we're not trying to prostitute our community, just so you guys know. I mean, this is about being of service, right? This is about doing things right. If you've been around us long enough, and since all of you are RPS members, I mean, you are all committed enough to have these products sent to you consistently every month. So that probably means you have some semblance of trust for Christina and what she's created. We're not going to do anything to compromise the integrity of ourselves or our community, because you guys already know there's 4 principles: education, authenticity, simplicity, and integrity. We're not doing a money grab.
Nope.
We're not doing a money grab here. You guys, this is something that needs to be portrayed. Of everybody else that's selling supplements and selling all this trash that goes against us, we're the only company. Last year, we did $60 million in revenue. We put $30 million in people's pockets last year for the value that they created as a community.
I would even forget that and say, how many people did we help? How many people... Right? How many people had somebody that was impacted by an illness or was searching for an answer, and you helped provide that?
Well, and it's you guys who are doing that. It's not just us. You have to understand that. We understand your value. We value our family. We value our community. That's all of us here. Think about this. How many friends, how many people are you connected to that would love to know themselves for the first time? Aside from promoting everything else about detoxification and dopamine and everything else, if you want the most simple pathway to do some really crazy stuff in a world where people are trying to figure out how to stay healthy and make Americans healthy again, make themselves healthy again, and, you know, fight insulin resistance and fight metabolic syndrome and cancer and diabetes and, you know, get fit, stay in shape, get healthy. Do you know, if you don't know you don't know how to take care of you. And there's right now only one company that gives you an entire panel so you can know you. And you could build an entire business on that test. And you know what's crazy? The companies that sell not even a test that provides this level of content and information, right? So that they sell maybe 4 or 5 or 6 or 10 or 12, you know, genetic, you know, tests or alleles in a panel to it, because the 2-pager that we have, or 1-pager that's front and back, the first page has the 13 real primary genetic codes that are tested, that are the most popular, and you could promote, you know, anything just on those 13, and then you do the infomercial of, oh, but wait, there's more, because on the back there's 126 additional. So that's 139. But when you understand genetic coding, that in each one of those genetic codes, there are dozens of SNPs within those. So when we look at 139 specific genetic codes, when you take the SNPs, there's like 136,000 different genetic combinations that are being done in this analysis in order to get you the results that you're getting. That's kind of dope.